Welcome back to the Microsoft Sentinel Data Lake video series. In this video, we're going to explore how to create, schedule, and manage query jobs using KQL on Sentinel Data Lake. We previously went through how to query the data lake directly, how to create asynchronous queries, and how to retrieve those values once completed. So be sure to start with that video if you haven't already gone through it. Now that we have a query we want to run against our Sentinel Data Lake, what if we want to run it on a regular basis? Whether it's a scheduled job or maybe on an ad hoc basis, we can create a job for this query. Select Create Job, and then select the first option, Create a new KQL job. This will take the query that we had in the query pane and automatically populate it here, which I'll show in a second, as part of creating a new KQL job. A KQL job can run on a query schedule or on an ad hoc basis. Give it a job name and a description, and then choose where you want the results to be populated. In this case, I only have access to one workspace that I can write to. Then give the new table a name, which will be suffixed with an _KQL_CL string, which indicates that this came from a KQL job. Then select Next. The KQL has now been populated from the query pane. If you need to select additional workspaces, you can do so by selecting Selected Workspace. Everything looks good in terms of the KQL and the lookback period of 24 hours. Now we can set the schedule for this job. It can either run once on demand or it can run on a schedule. In this case, I'm going to select Scheduled. I want this to run hourly and have it start on the 18th. I don't want it to run indefinitely, maybe only for a few days. So I'll set it to run for a few days. Then select Next, and you are presented with a summary of the job that you're creating. It lists the job name, where the results are going to be populated, how often it's going to run, and the query that is going to be executed. If we were to select Submit, it would send this off to the job scheduling service, which would manage the job. We've created jobs. Now we want to be able to manage them. To find out which jobs are running in your environment, go to the Jobs pane. In the Jobs Management pane, it shows all the different jobs that have been created in the data lake. There's a number of KQL jobs and notebook jobs that are available. If we select a job, we can get information about it, we can disable or delete the job, or copy the query that the job is using by selecting Copy Query at the bottom. By selecting View History, we can view the history of the job over time. A pop-out will open with the results of the runs of this job over time. It runs on a regular basis, generally producing almost 22,000 rows at a time. And then lastly, we can edit the job by selecting Edit, which brings up the Job Creation Edit page. We can create jobs from this page, which is very much just like creating the KQL job that we did on the query page. We can also create a job from a template by selecting Create Job from Template. There's a number of different templates that are available to choose from. Let's say we want to be able to build a job based on daily process execution trends. Selecting a template provides some information about the job that's going to be created. It shows the KQL that's available and some basic placeholder values. To create a job from this template, select Create Job from Template, which will then take the information from this job template and, again, populate the KQL job wizard with the basic information from that job template, including the name and the description. You have to manually select the workspace, but it pre-populates the name of the table. It also pre-populates the query that's going to be executed along with the time frame, as well as the schedule. All these values can be changed or overridden. This can be a one-time job, or we can change the frequency to whatever value we want. I'll use these values as if I wanted to keep them. Let's set this one to start executing next week. Lastly, select Next to do a final review. If everything looks good, submit the job, which will start running on the date scheduled. We went through a lot of different functionalities around KQL. We created jobs based upon KQL queries that we crafted. We also reviewed how to get into the job management page, manage those different jobs, delete them, disable them, edit them, and even create jobs from templates. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next video. Get started with Sentinel. aka.ms/get_started/Sentinel_data lake.